Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I thought today, middle of September, is a great time to discuss amaryllis, which I have over here. I've been treating them as houseplants for the whole summer. So I have other videos on amaryllis, repotting them, bringing them out of dormancy, and I'll link to those in the description below. But for right now, we're gonna talk about putting them in dormancy. So why does an amaryllis need to be put into dormancy? Well, they need a period of rest in order to kind of recharge and get ready to put all of their energy into flowering again. And the cool thing about amaryllis, and I've got 3 varieties that have been hanging out over here as houseplants. These guys come outside into a part sun location for the summertime. I treat them as houseplants for the rest of the year. But as far as going into dormancy, like early, mid-September is a really good time if you want to force them to bloom sometime around the holidays. Now, it's not an exact science because plants have a mind of their own, but generally about 6 to 8 weeks in dormancy. So for me, that would be just taking these guys, withholding water, not giving them no drinks, putting them in the garage for 6 to 8 weeks, where the bulb is, you're basically telling the bulb just to recharge. So like if you grow daffodils, tulips, you let all of this die back. So you put it in a cool, dark place. So this will all go green or go yellow, it'll die back. So all of that energy in the leaves will be sent into the bulb. So for that 6 to 8 week period in the garage, all of that will die back. Now the cool thing about amaryllis is you get to decide when you want it to flower, kind of not an exact science, like I said, but a roundabout date. So for me, I like them to flower in February. I find February very difficult. It's cold and dark and the season is just, winter is just growing really old. And having that pop of color from my amaryllis is really nice. So that's the beauty of amaryllis. You can kind of decide when you want those flowers. Now, a lot of people want their flowers around Christmas time. So right now, early, mid-September is a good time to start that process. So you want them to be in a cool, dark place for about 6 to 8 weeks. And then when you bring them out of their dormancy, so you take them out of the garage, you're going to repot them. I have a whole video on that. I'll link below what you're going to do. But you're going to need another 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes even longer. In my experience, it can take up to 10 weeks to get them to that flowering stage. And it really is dependent on the temperature in your house, the light, and what the bulb has in mind. I've got 3 varieties of amaryllis here that have been hanging out in a part sun location, so they get afternoon sun. I've got charisma, mystica, and double dragon. All I want to do now is put them in a cool, dark place. So let's take them to the garage. And now they're just going to go on the counter and they're going to hang out here for 6 to 8 weeks if you want them to bloom around the holidays. And for me, I just leave them and I bring them in when I remember to bring them in. But if you're specific about timing, definitely mark on your calendar about when you want to bring them in. And then you're just going to let these guys withhold water. You're going to let the leaves go completely yellow. It'll die back. It'll look pitiful. It's not dead. It's just sending all of the energy, like what would happen if you have daffodils or tulips in your garden. You let all of that foliage die back because all of that chlorophyll, that green in those leaves, goes back into the bulb and it regenerates, strengthens the bulb so it gets ready to send up another flower for us. So for me, I may not bring these in till the end of December, maybe even January. I've even forgot, I had a variety years ago called Red Lion, and you'll find, like in the big box stores, your most common ones you'll find there would be Red Lion, Apple Blossom, both are beautiful. I had a Red Lion, and then I left it on my workbench probably until like June. So it had been in the garage from October to June. And lo and behold, I thought, well, let me just cut it back. It looked pitiful. The bulb had shrunk quite a bit. I cut it back and put it out in the sun, gave it some fertilizer, some water, and lo and behold, it sent up a beautiful flower stalk. So these guys are they are difficult to kill. I mean, you can kill them, but they want to flower. Just mark on your calendar about when you should bring them in, and then give yourself, after the time that you bring them in, give them another 6 to 8 weeks to flower. Like I said, in my experience, it's taken up to 10 weeks, and it's completely dependent on your indoor conditions, the temperature of your home, your light, all of that, and the bulb. Amaryllis are really easy and they're so beautiful whether you grow them for the holidays or you just want to force them into bloom at a time that you know you're going to need some flowers. So for me, that's February, and I'll be bringing mine in around probably the end of December, and sometime around Valentine's Day they'll flower. So amaryllis are really easy to grow, guys. So if you find them at the big box stores, which you likely will, very inexpensive. I pick one up for my mom and me every year. And a quick tip, if you're a Trader Joe's shopper, Trader Joe's has some of the most beautiful amaryllis bulbs I have ever grown. I picked one up for the first time last year. I got one for my mom, one for me, and it was just mounted on a piece of wood. It wasn't in a pot, no soil, and it sent up 4 over the course of like maybe 3 months. So I picked them up in November. So start looking for them end of October, early November if you're a Trader Joe's shopper. And grab one as soon as you see it, because mine threw up, and as did my mom's, 4 flower stalks over the course of several months. They were the most prolific amaryllis bulbs I've ever seen. But the cost of that, when they flower like that, both my bulb and my mom's bulb just shriveled to nothing and died. I mean, it exhausted every last ounce of nutrition it had in the bulb, and it put it into flower production. So definitely be on the lookout at Trader Joe's for those bulbs soon. So anyway, I hope you grow them, and I would love to know if you grow them, what variety you picked or what one you're currently growing. And if you're curious about how to bring them out of dormancy, I have a video that I am attaching in the description, so you can check that out too. Super easy to grow, you guys, and it's really great for if you want some holiday color or you just need a pop of color at a time that you know you're going to be longing for some flowers. Amaryllis is a really good choice. And they're relatively inexpensive, especially if you buy them at like a big box store. When you go to the garden centers, you'll get really good premium bulbs, so they'll be bigger bulbs. You might pay $25, $30 for a single bulb. But typically at like Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, you can find those bulbs for $10, $10, $12. All right, guys, let me know if you grow them. Would love to hear what varieties you chose, and would love to know how the whole process goes for you if you're putting them into dormancy and then bringing them out of dormancy. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.